Hi everyone, Craig Cottrell, Commercial Director at CMAE. We're here today at a gorgeous Renaissance in Scotland, and we're here to see Golf Finance, who are our latest corporate partner. So let's get inside and see the guys and ask them all about the business and why they've partnered with the CMAE. So welcome guys, and it's great to have you guys on board as a new corporate partner of CMAE. So Malcolm, give us a little bit of background to the business. I know the business has been here for many years, it's really established, but just give us an idea of where it's come from and the kind of services that you offer to clubs.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks, Greg. We're delighted to be involved with the CMAE going forward. Really excited to take up the partnership. So yeah, Golf Finance, we specialise in asset funding solutions for golf clubs. We kind of work closely with club managers to develop strategic plans, making sure that they're kind of competitive and financially secure going forward. We cover all manner of assets from clubhouse refurbishments, golf buggies, machinery, all manner of things really. So quite a bit of diversity to the business.
I suppose over the way the industry is going, Neil, it's progressing. There's a lot of bigger projects happening around. Have you seen an increase in recent years in terms of business and in terms of the size of projects and the type of projects that are happening?
Yeah, I think everything with prices and projects has gone up. I mean, there's a lot of golf clubs now that are suddenly seeing the need to try and improve clubhouse, improve infrastructure to draw those extra people in to have set themselves above the competitors. There's obviously less people with disposable income now, so you have to try and be that cut above. When it comes to machinery and things like that, we have seen an incredible price hike over the last few years. I mean, we did a fleet deal for a club 5 years ago, and that they're renewing it now, and the kit is almost 100% up on what it was last time. It's just crazy, and it's not sustainable for the clubs to just buy a machinery fleet now, which might be 300,000-400,000 pounds. It's just not possible. So they need to find a sustainable and affordable way of funding that over a determined period that best suits that club's cash flows.
And I suppose in terms of, we were talking about this earlier, in terms of lenders, and obviously as a broker, you've got lots of great relationships with various different kind of lenders, and I suppose certain lenders will specialise in certain areas of funding.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the great thing for us about being a broker is we have a panel of options available to us. And one funder might do excellent rates and terms for one type of asset, another will do it for another. So again, as Neil said, it's finding the specific package that's right for that golf club. And that includes a lot more than just the interest rate. Obviously, you want to get the best package possible and the sharpest interest rate possible. But in terms of the actual conditions and the T's and C's that go around that agreement, that can be just as important, if not more important at times. So yeah.
What about that kind of longer term support as well? And in terms of having those long term relationships with clubs, it's not a case of just coming in and doing a finance package for them, solving a problem, and then going away. I would imagine there's a longer term relationship that you're looking to do with them.
Yeah, exactly. If you've got that kind of ongoing point of contact moving forward, then you've got someone you can speak to, someone that can advise you on what your options are going forward. So yeah, so I think that's a really important thing to look at as well with it all.
So, what do you think, Neil? Biggest financial challenges at the moment out there for clubs, like you touched on a minute ago. The price of everything's going up. Member expectations are going up. The whole experience needs to be and feel better. So, what do you feel the challenges are out there at the minute?
There is so many. I mean, obviously, a lot's been highlighted over the past few years of how much basic things, energy prices have gone up, how many people can afford to take the memberships up, how to retain your members. So all of those things, you have to be able to plan so much further in advance now when you think how much they're paying. And we've heard golf clubs that have gone up tenfold on energy costs. So suddenly, if you've got that thrown into the mix, you need to really be able to budget properly and sustain that part of the business.
And in terms of the partnership with CMAE, what do you feel the real benefit is going to be to you as a business, and what benefit do you feel you're going to be able to bring through education, if you like, around the membership of CMAE?
It's just opening doors to speak to as many managers as possible from as early a stage as possible in their plans for the club. If we can speak to them and put together 5, 10 year plans where they can accurately know what they're going to do, it's great. And to be involved with the CMAE, which is doing such a good job with the education side of it, it's giving them the knowledge they need to make informed decisions. They're not expected to be knowledgeable on everything. So for them to have a contact that has 30 years experience in the golf industry funding for golf clubs, where they know they can just pick up the phone, we don't charge for our time, and we will help advise as best we can, is great.
And in terms of that, we were discussing it earlier, Malcolm, about that kind of that whole education piece around cash flow, around budgeting, and all that kind of thing. Is that something that you feel you can really come and kind of, in a sense, demystify a little bit and help to make things a little bit clearer? And we talked about, by doing that through education, then the conversations that you can have with managers are going to be much more valuable because they understand that more.
Definitely, yeah. I think there's a perception around a lot of golf clubs that machinery is the only thing that you would finance and that you can finance. And we've worked hard over the last few years, particularly for things like irrigation systems and clubhouse refurbishments, to educate clubs and to say this is something that you can fund and you can finance. And it's especially relevant when you have projects that are a non-negotiable. You know, you take an irrigation system, for example. A lot of golf clubs are operating with really out of date, dangerous systems even, and it's such a high cost, perhaps even the highest cost the club will ever have for any capex project, and they have no idea how they're going to fund that. That then pushes them down avenues like trying to do 2 or 3 holes at a time, but that then has a higher mobilization cost, and there's loads of other factors there. So again, we're here to present solutions and kind of education points on how these projects can be made affordable and sustainable for the club long term.
And I think a key message in this as well, which again we've spoken about a few times, it's golf finance, but it's not just golf. You know, CMA work with private members clubs, work with yacht clubs, work with lots of different things. So although you specialise in golf and have got a lot of experience working with golf clubs, you can work with other clubs as well.
Yeah, we do probably 80% of our business in the golf sector, but we do finance for any business effectively. We've financed this year already, the middle of March, we've already financed everything from a clubhouse refurbishment to a herd of cows for a farm. So we genuinely can finance pretty much anything these days, and a lot of golf clubs will look at, let's say, a 60 grand more, and they would finance it every single time. But if they have a 60 grand bill to get the boiler system redone at the golf club, they'll think, oh, well, we need to pay for that. But actually, it's just as financeable as a mower. So it's those kind of things, just educating the CMA members on the fact that you can fund these things and put it into cash flow, so you don't have to spend all the cash reserves up front.
Well, guys, we're really excited to be working with you. Really excited for you to contribute to the education, to contribute to the insight for the members. And I know our members will be looking forward to reaching out to you and you reaching out to them to talk finance and talk how they can move their clubs forward. So thanks for your time today, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Thanks, we appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.